Hello and welcome to the video about 1902 of the game Crossing 2020. So last time we analyzed how England and France allied together to go against England, while Spain and Germany were basically not in the game, and Norway and England allied against Germany. So, and my objective was to eliminate Norway because I saw him as the big threat, and we'll see how that goes. So basically, we didn't really talk about this particular move, the French move from Burgundy to Munich. This is a very strange move, and I did notice it because even if we take the attack on Belgium at face value, this attack on Belgium is pretty preventable because it was possible from Holland's perspective to support Belgium from Holland and Ruhr. And even if Burgundy was to cut Ruhr, with Holland's support, Belgium wouldn't be takeable. So basically, the only reason I actually took Belgium was because Holland basically did the right thing, decided to attack Kiel. Not only that, but decided to support himself in Kiel, even considering Norway going out of his way to help Holland with support from Denmark and with an attack on Berlin, possibly to cut support. So basically, Holland, which had all this Norwegian help, decided to help himself, basically. If he had supported his own in Belgium, this would have meant that Belgium would have remained property of Holland, even if France did cut support into Ruhr. But anyways, not cutting support to Ruhr, the support of Ruhr to Belgium, it's pretty suspicious. And this was the start of my suspicion of France. I was very suspicious of France from now on, basically, and he did a lot of moves that were suspicious, suboptimal, at least in my point of view, because this move to Munich could be some kind of sabotage to my attack of Belgium, basically trying not to let him take it and become the stronger, even by only one supply center power in the north. It's possible, and he will do it again. Stuff like this that is detrimental to me or detrimental to himself. So he starts now playing in a strange, borderline suboptimal way, and I became very suspicious of this. I turn after turn my frustration towards France grew. I had suspicions that he was doing this to undermine me, and then I started thinking that he was just not that good at the game. Even though I had a very good first impression of him, and I thought he was very good at the game, so I don't know. But he defended himself improperly at some point. So basically, and more and more we go on with the game, my communication with friends deteriorates because in the first turn we talked a lot, we discussed strategy. In the second year, 1902, we will discuss a little bit, but not as much as 1901, and basically this decrease continues throughout the game, and our misunderstandings and the fact that he doesn't really do what he says he's gonna do, and then he justifies his actions as mistakes and oversights, really frustrated me, and I basically at some point started to communicate with him just like, do this thing, these are the orders you should do. If you don't want to do it, your choice, but these are the orders I want you to do. And that's not really a good basis for an alliance, but he reciprocated in this. I don't know which one of us started this, but he started as well, basically at the same time as me, to write messages that were really small, like just one sentence. often he would ask me an explanation for my moves, and he would accuse me, even if it was a vague accusation. Basically, our relationship weakens as the game goes on. And this move from Burgundy to Munich was the start of it all, because we basically knew that Germany wasn't going to move unless Roland promised France to support him from Burgundy to Munich. But as we can see, Ruhr didn't do that. Ruhr moved to Kiel, and Belgium launched a support from Germany to Burgundy. So basically, even though Germany wasn't playing, he might have had his reasons, and this is highly my point of view, my perspective. So I don't know. Other than that, I didn't really address this move because I don't know. I think addressing this move would have gained me nothing. France did help me with this Picardy unit, and it was the only real ally I had, that I didn't want to ruin our relationship over such a small thing. I was suspicious, but I basically convinced myself in the beginning, at least, that it was just a mistake, an oversight, or at least indifference towards my success. So basically, my plan in this year is basically this. I want Norway to be English. I want to surprise attack Norway. Basically, the only way I can do this is to convince the Norwegian player my build in Edinburgh is going to be moving to North Sea, while North Sea is moving to Holland with Belgium support. It's the only possible explanation that doesn't worry Norway. Of course, a Liverpool fleet would have been hostile to France and Spain, and London was occupied. That's part of the reason I didn't move London. So basically, it's credible. It's not that credible. Probably in Norway's shoes, I would have been very suspicious of this build. But I basically contacted him first thing in spring 1902, and I said, this plan, my plan is to go North Sea to Holland, support with Belgium, and even though Belgium could have been cut, and I saw how Holland and Norway are allied, so basically Norway could have just leaked the information to Holland, but that was my excuse, even though it was a weak excuse, because I was talking about my plans with the enemy, or at least an ally of the enemy, so he should have been suspicious of this information. And moving Edinburgh to North Sea was the only way I could keep our agreement of a DMZ of Norwegian Sea. And I asked him to attack Kiel, because why would I even tell him my plans? Wouldn't be credible if I told him my plans for no reason at all. So basically, I told him to attack Kiel, because attacking Kiel would cut support to any support to Holland. And I told him basically you could take Kiel with Denmark and Baltic Sea, with Germany gone. And it's a win for you, a win for me, guaranteed, almost guaranteed, because you are cutting support from Kiel, even though Ruhr could have cut support from Belgium, but they could have attacked with Belgium, but that was not the plan I was telling Norway. So basically, Norway said yes. He said he was going to ally with Lowlands, but after seeing how me and France are going hard against Lowlands, probably is not a good ally for him, and he might as well enjoy some of the spoils. And yes, so it seems to have worked. Of course, why am I doing this? Because Norway is undefended, at least, yeah, it's completely undefended at the moment. But I will attack Norway in the fall after I put an Edinburgh fleet in Norwegian Sea, and I want to avoid Baltic Sea or Denmark to go back to Sweden, basically. Because if they go back to Sweden, I have no way of taking Norway. They can just support them themselves. So basically, I want to trick my opponent, and that's my conversation with Norway. I basically asked Russia again because he was open to a possibility of an attack on Norway, and I asked, "Are you still in basically on a possible war on Norway if that happens?" But I was very hypothetical. I didn't tell him I was going to attack right away because I didn't trust him. He was very defensive in our conversation. He seemed very, very worried of losing St. Pete. And he said basically that he would join me in a war against Norway only if absolutely necessary. That's basically a no, because when is the time that it becomes absolutely necessary that he joins a war against Norway on my part? Probably only if Norway attacks me and Sweden or Norway is undefended. So basically, that's probably the time he intended to join me. He thought I was asking in a defensive way, some sort of like a defensive pact, and not on an offensive pact against Norway. Because I just didn't want to leave St. Pete to go to Gulf of Bothnia and risking Norway sleeping in St. Pete. So basically, that's why. So Russia, it's a sort of a maybe, probably not alliance. Both Spain and Germany get replaced. Germany answers me on my first 1901 message I sent to the first Germany, saying he wants to cooperate, but I don't really talk to him that much because I don't have any plans for the region at the moment because I want to switch adversaries. Even though Poland is still my adversary, Norway is the bigger threat. And Spain is a very important player in this game, one with which I need to have communications at the moment. He is not any weaker than he was in 1901, even with the NMRs. And I said, do you want to work together or something? And he said, yeah, I'm very interested in working together with you. But I see your alliance with France, so I don't know. That implies that he wants to attack France, or maybe me, and he's trying to convince the other one. He doesn't seem very hostile to Italy, and he basically told me that he was open to every kind of cooperation with me, and even if the only cooperation I was willing to give was a kind of I don't get in your business and you don't get in mine kind of approach for now, and then we can see in some turns what to do, he was happy with that. And I basically say, yeah, that's the kind of agreement I want for now. You don't come in my business, I don't interfere with yours. And I basically betrayed verbally France in this turn. Basically, I gave my leave to Spain to attack France if he so wished. I basically told him, as long as you don't attack me, you can attack France or Italy. I'm fine with both of them. I'm technically allied with France, but that can change because looking at the board, a surprise attack from Spain to France could be very devastating to France if executed correctly. And I want to keep my options open, even if this information could go to France. Spain could tell France that I am soft backstabbing him, I am betraying him in some way, I'm undermining my ally, but I can just deny it's 50-50 then who France believes. Oh yeah, so it's very important, let me stress this. It's very important to remember this. I, in 1902, gave my permission, if you can call that a permission, to Spain to attack France. That's very important. Again, I will state my neutrality in this kind of affairs, Spanish-French affairs, in the later in the game, and that's very important for Spain's state of mind. This very choice I made, the diplomatic choice, was basically what defined how Spain played for the rest of the game. For all the duration of the game, Spain took this sentence I said and was completely dominated and influenced by it, and you'll see what I mean when we get there. So I talked to France, and France was, of course, the most important person I wanted to talk with, and I offered support in terror from Burgundy, as promised. And basically that was it for spring 1902. So basically, let's go to autumn 1902, when we can see that my deception of Norway worked. Norway tried, because Norway had said that Norway was promising Berlin to Norway, but he was thinking about attacking Lowland now that I had suggested it. But he went with the original plan of attacking Berlin with Lowland's help. But that didn't work thanks to the German moves that attacked Kiel. So basically, Baltic Sea cut Berlin, while Munich cut Kiel, and nothing happened. But this means that I have guaranteed Norway in this season, because he didn't go back to protect Norway. That's very good. I broke my agreement with Norway. I don't see how we can regain trust now. It's basically a kill Norway game now for me. And Spain did do a very well coordinated surprise attack on France. Of course, that's what the Spanish do. And basically, he enlisted the help of the Italian army in Piedmont, which was hostile to France in the end, but indirectly. And he took Marseille, and with no way from France to retake it, and Mid-Atlantic Ocean and Western Med, which is, of course, worrying for me that an enemy fleet, a Spanish fleet, is in Mao, but he can't reach Liverpool even if he wanted to this year, and they can be there. So basically, I'm not worried at all. This is an anti-French move. I have no doubt about that. The attack worked, while I got France to support me in Belgium, so Holland and Ruhr attacking Belgium didn't work. So basically I didn't lose anything. France gained temporarily a center, Spain as well, and this was the big fumble of the Balkan player. After losing Romania, being backstabbed by his Russian ally last turn, he went NMR, basically surrendered, and his 3 territories were all invaded. We can see the juggernaut, the Russian-Turkey alliance, working together, with Russia helping Turkey taking Bulgaria, while the attack on Austria from Russia begins, and Austria helps himself into Serbia and Greece. Italy is continuing in its pattern of doing very strange moves and turns. Last year he basically moved to Piedmont and then used only Venice to support Austria, and this turn he supported Spain while doing absolutely nothing with Venice and Naples, not even trying to attack anyone or to position himself to attack anyone. And I can see his quarry in a classic crowded game. It's very difficult to play Italy, I imagine. I don't know. But this is a very interesting way of playing for sure. In this turn, I talked to France, basically, and I negotiated something. France was trying to convince me not to attack Norway. This is another suspicious thing. The second one that France does. He said that Russia was just going to support Norway, so it was useless to attack Norway. And he wanted this particular set of moves. I asked him to support Belgium to Holland, and instead he said no, he wanted to support Munich to Kiev. And this is the beginning of some sort of a love triangle among me, France, and Germany, with basically me being the more powerful of the three, and the two of them always preferring one another over me, even though I made more sensible, in my opinion, proposals. They always seem to have some sort of affection for each other, and we're talking about two Germanys, because spoiler alert, this Germany is going to be replaced by a third Germany, and both Germanys were very loyal to France for some reason, and France in this turn shows how loyal to Germany is, even though I haven't seen anything of cooperation between them, while I was very loyal to France this turn by supporting him into Europe. So basically, that's why I was kind of the third wheel in this love triangle, but who cares, to be honest. So basically, he doesn't want to support me to Holland, no problem. I can see why he wants Germany to get stronger. He wants to enlist Germany's help to fight against Spain. Yeah, fair enough. So it's not a suboptimal choice on France's part. It's just not the choice I would have wanted, because another center, Holland and Norway would be good. And about his tentative to convince me not to attack Norway, that was really bad, really, really suspicious. Because first of all, the Russian fleet in St. Pete is in the south coast, so basically it can't support Norway because South Coast Fleet doesn't border with Norway. So that's, and it probably confused me in the beginning. In my mind, for a moment, I thought it was in the North Coast, and I was trying to work around. And then I just saw it was in the South Coast, and I went back to the original plan, and I didn't listen to France along. And second of all, even if the Russian fleet was bordering Norway at the moment, why would be Russia so willing? Why would it be so certain that it would support Norway? It's not that obvious. So basically, I think France either is inexperienced and thought that they bordered, or is trying to trick me into not gaining any more power. And the latter seems the most probable one. I don't really trust France at this point. So other than not attacking Norway, he wanted he wanted me to use North Sea. Basically, he wanted me to do what I said Norway in spring I would do. So I don't know why France did this. I have theories, I don't have certainties. And he wanted London to go to English Channel. And I can see that now he wants London to go to English Channel. He didn't want it when Spain wasn't attacking him, and now he wants help. And I actually didn't answer to this request because I didn't want to. North Sea is exposed. Theoretically, Norway and Holland can dislodge North Sea if London doesn't support North Sea, and North Sea is very important to me. I need to keep it, so I didn't do it. That's my communications with France, and that's the most important thing. And let's see how that turned out. Yeah, so basically I took Norway, and I took it from North Sea because North Sea was going to be cut from Holland. That was another reason I didn't want to move London to English Channel, because London needed to go to North Sea to bounce, and indeed it happened. And there was the retreat in Skagerrak, and now Baltic Sea is coming back to Sweden and destroy in Denmark. So that shows that um, Norway, the Norwegian player is now the Norwegian player without Norway is now fully committed on defending against me, while completely trusting on Roland to not take Denmark, which is fair. And this really angered me. Even though it wouldn't have worked, the support from Ruhr to the Ruhr support from Belgium to Holland, I was really mad because I thought that if you want to support Munich to Kiev, at least you must have some sort of agreement with Germany about that. And instead, Germany just NMRs, which leads me to believe that France did it without even thanking Germany, or thanking Germany but without getting a response. And that's just, it wouldn't have worked. Nothing of this, no one of these moves would have worked. But, at least if you have to prefer Germany over England, do it because Germany is asking or responding to you. But so basically the Italian-Spanish alliance continues. Spain continues to advance in French territory while French moves to kind of defend themselves, even though it didn't move Ruhr, but that's understandable. And we say our goodbyes to Balkan, which was replaced by another player, but because the last player had NMR'd both in spring and in the retreat phase, basically this player had just one unit in Aegean. It seems like he tried probably to get some support, some Turkish support into Greece, and didn't get it. I see this this support from Bulgaria that didn't go anywhere, so probably it was supporting Greece to go to Aegean or something like that. And while Austria took two centers, it was immediately kind of shut down by Russia, who took Budapest. So now Russia is growing a lot. He has gained Budapest and Romania. He hasn't lost anything, even though he is the biggest power with Balkan in this variant in 1901. Surrounded by players, he seems to be thriving. I am thriving as well, I guess, and that's kind of worrying. This situation in the east, particularly because their own building, but it's on the upside, the fact that their own building means that there's some sort of balance between them. So basically, that's a good thing. And again, at least Italy did something this turn. He went to Tyronia. What are his intentions? We'll see next year. But Italy is going on an adventure. It was really fun playing with this complete wild card in the center of the board. Yeah. So basically, my attack on Norway worked even though France wanted to stop me, and you can see my build is in Edinburgh. I am very happy to see an army build from Spain, so that means he doesn't want, at least not right now, to attack me. And I thought about building in Liverpool, and building Liverpool is now what France would want. Because I can help him then, or I can attack him, but mostly help him. And I thought, nah, let's build in Edinburgh, let's continue the fight in the east. I can secure the east if I don't have any kind of intervention from the western part of the north, because it seems like Norway is gonna fall, Lowland is gonna fall. And I keep my word to Spain of remaining neutral in their conflict and not intervening in anyone's favor. and when one of them is destroyed, probably France, I win ally with Spain. That's my plan, even though I think that after Spain takes over all of France, it will be a very dangerous ally for me, but that's in the future. So basically, yeah, Fleet Edinburgh, and we'll see next year this being will be the another one of reasons for contention between me and France. So basically, is order in spring, is diplomacy in autumn, and now might be signify mutual distrust and frustration with one another, and alliance is crumbling. Basically, we didn't do anything for one another this turn. So yeah, we'll see how that goes, how that develops. Now the game is getting really interesting indeed. And we'll see how that goes next video. See you then.